set to match up between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Indianapolis Colts. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First and 10. Cox. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lee. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmaker. And right away, he lost the football. But I believe the Colts were able to fall on this when they were, and so possession will remain with Indy.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now he's forced out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Able to pick up a dozen yards there on the scramble, but not enough. Fourth down.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you. And in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
Now the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, it's Bell. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 62 yards on the punt that time. Wow. And the Colts are going to take over, albeit deep in their own territory. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first. From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, Drake again. A little 360. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Let's go. They go play action here on 1st down. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. As his guys are in for 6. And the Colts are going to take a first-quarter lead.
That drive was quick and impressive. Almost like they had somewhere else they needed to be after the game.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And the ball is knocked out. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a 4th down. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. Well, he had that one on target. That's half the battle. The other half of the battle, however, is distance.
And he nearly had that, too. But it was the crossbar that said otherwise. And that'll deny him a shot at 3.
He tried a 50-yarder and miss it, and now this offense has it 1st and 10 at the 40. Now Cox operating from the gun. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lee. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
To throw is Cox. To throw on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 3rd down. Looking to throw. Cox. Going for the deep ball. And that is caught. Touchdown, Indianapolis. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Colts are able to grow their lead. A diving catch for the score he laid out. That was special.
And you know the first thing they're going to check, right? Did he complete the process of the catch? All the way through, all the way to the ground. Ball doesn't hit the ground without control in his hands. All of that, yes. Check the box, touchdown.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Back to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half. And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting. Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Here's Cox on 1st down. Flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. T.J. Watt in to drop him behind the line, and that's a loss of a yard. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Back to throw. Cox buying time to his left. He goes underneath to Drake. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. 23 yards on the play. On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down. Flush to his right. This will be caught at about the 6. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. He'll get it up the middle. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, and this is going to be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down. Pretty fortunate there, the interception that ended the last drive, and then boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call him a question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there. Lucky that one wasn't picked. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this. Back to throw here. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And the Colts coming out now. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only...
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Stephon Tuitt in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Ohio!
Looking to throw. Cox. Escaping the pressure right. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
The Colts on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Cox now. From the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll drop to throw. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Now it's Crowder. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. And the Colts getting ready to go. And this is a spot late in the clock near midfield, though. Maybe take a couple chances, see if you get in field goal range.
You do that if you have trust, and this should be a position now.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
Single slot. Hey, you're on an island over there. You're on an island. Check right. Mike 50. Ohio.
Cox operating from the gun. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Lee. Now a timeout. 7 seconds. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. Boy, I guess they're going to keep trying to put the pedal to the metal here. They're going to try an onside kick. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. A second quarter onside kick there that failed. Is that something that maybe they had dialed up before this game started?
It feels like it, doesn't it? That they thought they had the right situation, you know, and the right approach in going after it. Also may signal that they feel like they have the superior.
And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with a pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Again, it's Bell. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now back to throw. And he is going to be wrapped up and slung to the turf.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to...
And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now that after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Back to throw. Cox. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Robinson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Looking to throw. Cox steps away to his left. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Artie Burns, former first-rounder, there to break that one up. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
And he's caught right at the 10-yard line. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards on the play.
Let's go!
On 1st and goal, Drake slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Stephon Tuitt came out at Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wondered, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
He's going to get it running right. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They've been stuffed twice here for losses. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Ohio! Ohio!
Back to throw. Cox. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field. But they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
On play action, they'll throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Terrell Basham in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
Looks like another empty possession here, partner. And I don't think with 3 scores down in the third quarter, they can truly afford any more the rest of the way.
No, especially the way their offense is sputtering. I think you're exactly right. They got to find some answers quickly. Crowder now to return. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Dancing to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Drake. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's got the hook up to Lee. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Flex round, flex round.
Looking to throw. Cox. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. In for the score. And the Colts add on to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweat.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in 3rd and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in 3rd and manageable. They've got a chance at a 1st down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. After the penalty, it's Bell. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
They'll set up a throw. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Back now in Indianapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. Always got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now Cox. Off play action. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A really nice gain of 25 yards. To throw is Cox on 1st and 10. Letting one go deep for the end zone. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Here we go!
Here's Cox. Back to the air on 2nd down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Colts on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Cox now. From the gun, he'll throw. And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And his kick is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Flush to his right. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Looking to throw. Being chased out left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And the Steelers on third down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 16. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
On third down, here's Bell. Bell so light on his feet. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Give him 14 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down and needing long yardage to try and pick up a 1st down. And they ended up getting a great run. Explosive, picked up nice yardage. You don't expect to be in this situation on 4th down. But guess what? It all started with what happened on 1st and 2nd down. Really put them behind the 8 ball.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. They pitch it to Chubb. Running right through him. And now running right through it. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down.
Well, partners, my old man used to say, make sure you strap up tight if you're going to try and stop one of those big horses out there. As you just saw there, this guy does not go down easily.
So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. Cox off the play fake. Looking deep downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Brad 38! Brad 38! Ohio!
Back to throw. Cox. And that's incomplete.
All right, let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys always taught find the 1st down sticks and make the play. On defense, what do you want to do? Guard the 1st down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the 1st down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Bell, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this.
Watch him now, Barney!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
They'll set up to throw. And the third down pass falls incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Drake. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Handoff comes to Chubb, and he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. That one looks like he'll throw here. Able to get away. Eluding but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception. What, he just needs
to go for it.
A run for Nick Chubb. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46.
That was a good, strong run there. While it won't pick up a first down,